Imagine this. What if I told you that every decision you make is already unfolding in countless other worlds, and all you need to do is tune into the reality where you're already living your dream? This isn't just theory, it's the hidden truth that quantum science and consciousness have been pointing to. Today's video may just change the way you see reality forever. Imagine a world where every thought you have, every tiny spark of imagination, and every desire you hold doesn't just remain trapped inside your mind. Instead, it becomes an invisible signal, radiating outward, written onto the very fabric of the universe itself. What if your thoughts were not just private experiences, but the raw material of your future reality? At first glance, this idea might sound too fantastic to be true. But when you look into the mysteries of quantum physics, it feels as though science itself is whispering to us. Your thoughts matter, your awareness has power, and your consciousness is not just passive, it plays an active role in shaping reality. This is the strange, fascinating concept known as quantum manifestation. On the surface, the concept looks simple. Think about what you want, visualize it, and watch it unfold in your life. Make affirmations, create vision boards, imagine yourself living your dream life, and everything will align. If it were really that simple, then billions of people who practice positive thinking every day would already be living in abundance, success, and perfect happiness. But the truth is very different. Most people struggle, most people fail, and most people never see their dreams materialize the way they hope. This paradox is exactly where the deeper secret of manifestation lies, a secret that is simple, but rarely understood. The truth is that human beings are creators by nature. Whether we realize it or not, we are shaping reality at every moment. When you wake up in the morning and immediately dwell on stress, problems, or fears, you are broadcasting that energy outward. That frequency you send out aligns you with more stress, more problems, and more fear. But when you begin your day with gratitude, clarity, and positive intention, you shift your frequency and align with a different set of outcomes. The challenge, however, is that people do this inconsistently. They may visualize for a few minutes or practice affirmations half-heartedly, but then spend the rest of the day thinking negative thoughts, worrying about the future, or doubting themselves. And then they claim manifestation doesn't work. Quantum physics gives us a hint about why this happens. At the smallest scale of reality, particles do not behave like solid objects. Instead, they exist in multiple states at once, a strange condition called superposition. An electron, for example, can exist in two places at once until it is observed, but the moment someone observes it, the particle collapses into a single outcome. This is called the observer effect, and it is deeply profound because it suggests that consciousness isn't just watching reality, it's shaping it. Simply by focusing on one possibility, reality itself changes. If this is true, then manifestation begins to make sense. If your consciousness is consistently focused on a particular outcome, if you are emotionally and mentally aligned with it, then perhaps you are selecting that outcome from a field of infinite possibilities. But here's the catch. Most people are not consistent. Their conscious mind may want something, wealth, health, love, but their subconscious mind is sending out the exact opposite signal. You might visualize abundance for 5 minutes in the morning, but if you spend the rest of the day worrying about bills, comparing yourself to others, or doubting your worth, then your subconscious frequency is much stronger, and the subconscious always wins. The subconscious mind is like the broadcasting tower of your inner world. It decides which channel of reality you are tuned into. If the subconscious is filled with fear, doubt, guilt, and negativity, then the signal is weak, distorted, and chaotic. And this is why 95% of people fail with manifestation. They think they are sending out one signal, but in reality, their subconscious is broadcasting something very different. Another major misunderstanding is that manifestation means just thinking about something. But manifestation is not about fantasy, it's about identity. You cannot just think about what you want. You have to become the version of yourself who already has it. If you want wealth, you cannot just imagine money. You have to step into the mindset, the feelings, and the habits of a person who already is wealthy. If you want health, you must align with the identity of someone who is already vibrant and healthy. It is not about wishing, it is about being. This is where most people get stuck. They repeat affirmations, write down goals, and daydream, but they never reprogram their deeper beliefs. They carry subconscious patterns of scarcity, self-doubt, or unworthiness. And no matter how much they try on the surface, their subconscious programming pulls them back into the same old patterns. It's like trying to plant seeds in a field that is full of weeds. The seeds never take root. Until you clear the weeds, the soil is not ready. Think of it like a radio. Your consciousness is the tuner, and the universe has infinite stations available. You can tune to the frequency of lack and hear nothing but problems, setbacks, and failure. Or you can tune to abundance and hear opportunity, success, and love. The frequency you choose determines the station you receive. But here's the tricky part. You cannot tune into two stations at once. If you try, all you hear is static. And that static is what most people live in. Mixed signals, scattered focus, and internal conflict. This raises an even bigger question. If quantum manifestation is real, does that mean we can literally select our reality? Are we in some sense choosing which version of the universe we step into? And if that's true, why is it that only a handful of people seem to make it work, while most fail? Science doesn't give us all the answers, but it does give us clues. Superposition, wave function collapse, and quantum entanglement all suggest that reality is not as fixed as we think. Instead, it is fluid, and consciousness seems to play a mysterious role in how it takes shape. Supporters of manifestation argue that our thoughts and energy interact with this fluid reality, collapsing possibilities into actual events. Critics dismiss it as illusion or pseudoscience. But whether illusion or truth, one thing is undeniable. Your thoughts and perceptions change your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. In this sense, the real power of manifestation may not lie in magically bending reality, but in the way your state of mind shifts how you move through life. Change your thoughts and you change your perception. Change your perception and you change your decisions. Change your decisions and you change your destiny. Whether by mystical force or by psychology, the effect is real. So maybe the real question is not, does manifestation work? But how deeply can you align yourself with what you want? Because if you are only working at the surface level, saying affirmations without feeling them, imagining success while secretly doubting it, then your results will be limited. But if you truly reprogram your subconscious, dissolve your doubts, and embody the energy of what you desire, then everything in your system becomes magnetic. You naturally align with opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your inner state. This is the secret most people ignore. They focus only on the techniques, affirmations, vision boards, meditation, while neglecting the deeper work of shifting their vibration. But manifestation is not a trick. It is not about saying a few words or making a wish. It is about becoming the version of yourself who lives in the reality you desire. And this leads us to the real mystery. How do you actually do this? How do you reprogram the subconscious? How do you shift your frequency so that the universe receives a clear, powerful signal? Is there a practical system that anyone can follow to unlock this power? That is what we will explore in the next part, where we will go deeper into the hidden mechanics of manifestation, uncover the mistakes most people don't realize they're making, and reveal how to align both your conscious and subconscious mind so that reality itself bends toward your desires. If the secret of manifestation lies in aligning the subconscious mind, then the obvious question is, how can we do it? How do we break free from the invisible programming that has been running our lives since childhood? To answer that, we need to first understand where this programming comes from. From the moment we are born, our subconscious mind is like a sponge. Until the age of 7, our brain waves exist mostly in the theta range, which is the same state used in hypnosis. In this stage of life, children are wide open, absorbing beliefs, emotions, and behaviors from the environment around them. If a child grows up hearing, money is hard to earn, life is unfair, or you're not good enough, those beliefs sink deeply into the subconscious and become the operating system for the rest of life. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience it so differently. One person sees opportunity everywhere and attracts success, while another sees nothing but obstacles and struggles. It is not that one person is luckier than the other, it's that they are tuned to a different subconscious frequency. The world is not responding to their conscious wishes, but to their hidden beliefs. And so, the first real step in quantum manifestation is to uncover the programming that has been running silently in the background. Most people never stop to question these programs. They repeat the same patterns day after day, year after year, and then wonder why their life never changes. They don't realize that change is not about doing more or working harder. It is about shifting the inner script that shapes every thought, decision, and action. The subconscious is like the autopilot of your life. If it's programmed for scarcity, you will unconsciously make choices that lead to scarcity. If it's programmed for love, you will naturally align with relationships that reflect love. If it's programmed for fear, you will continually run into situations that reinforce that fear. So how do we rewrite the script? The key is repetition and emotion. The subconscious doesn't change through logic, it changes through experience. This is why affirmations spoken without feeling rarely work. But when you combine a thought with deep emotion, when you feel it as if it's already real, you create an imprint on the subconscious. Visualization is powerful not because it shows you what could be, but because it convinces the subconscious that it already is. And once the subconscious believes something, it begins to reorganize your reality to match it. Think of Olympic athletes. Many of them practice not just physically but mentally. They close their eyes and vividly imagine themselves running the perfect race, making the perfect jump, or landing the perfect routine. Neuroscience shows that when they do this, the same parts of the brain light up as if they were physically performing the action. In other words, the brain does not clearly distinguish between imagination and reality. This is the secret doorway to reprogramming the subconscious. Vivid imagination combined with strong emotion creates a new version of reality inside the mind, which then begins to reflect outside. But here is the catch. You must feel it fully. Many people visualize their dreams while secretly doubting it will ever happen. They say, "I want abundance," but inside they are thinking, "This is silly, it will never work." That doubt cancels the signal. The subconscious listens to the dominant emotion, not the words. If the dominant emotion is doubt or fear, then that becomes the broadcast. And so, the practice is not just to imagine your dream, but to step into the emotions of already having it. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is the emotional signature of abundance. When you practice gratitude daily, even for small things, you are training your subconscious to feel the vibration of having rather than lacking, and that frequency begins to attract more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude is not just a positive attitude, it is the energetic bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Another important factor is environment. Your subconscious is constantly being influenced by what you see, hear, and experience. If you are surrounded by negativity, toxic conversations, or constant reminders of lack, your subconscious will reinforce that reality. But if you surround yourself with positive influences, inspiring ideas, and people who are aligned with growth, you create a fertile soil for new beliefs to grow. This is why changing your environment can sometimes transform your life faster than anything else. Now let's tie this back to quantum physics. If every possibility already exists in the quantum field, every version of your life, every outcome, every future, then manifestation is not about creating something from nothing. It's about aligning yourself with the version that already exists. Imagine reality as a vast library filled with infinite books. Each book is a version of your life. Right now, you are reading one particular book, one version of your story. But if you change your frequency, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you can pick up a different book and step into a different version of your life. The story you experience changes, not because the old story disappears, but because you shifted into a new one. This is why manifestation can feel magical. From the outside, it looks like coincidences, synchronicities, and sudden opportunities appear out of nowhere. But from the perspective of quantum possibility, you have simply tuned into a version of reality where those opportunities already existed. And here's the fascinating part. The shift does not require years of effort. The shift can happen in a moment, in an instant of true alignment. That's why some people experience sudden breakthroughs. Everything clicks because, for that moment, their subconscious and conscious mind are fully aligned. However, sustaining that alignment is the real challenge. Many people have brief moments of clarity, but then fall back into old patterns. They get excited about manifestation, visualize for a few days, see small results, and then doubt creeps in. They lose focus, and their signal becomes weak again. The real mastery is not in a single breakthrough, but in sustaining a state of alignment over time. This is where discipline comes in, not discipline in the sense of force or struggle, but discipline in the sense of devotion. Devotion to keeping your mind tuned to the reality you desire, no matter what the outside world shows you. Because here's the paradox. The outer world is a lagging reflection of your inner world. By the time you see it, it's already old. It's the echo of past thoughts, past beliefs, passadas emotions. If you want to change it, you cannot fight the current reality. You must instead hold the new vibration firmly, even when the old reality still lingers. Most people give up too quickly. They look at their current life and say, "See, it's not working," but they don't realize they are still looking at the past. To create the future, you must hold the frequency long enough for the reflection to change. This is why patience is part of manifestation, not passive waiting, but active trust. Trust that the signal you are sending out is already creating ripples in the quantum field. Trust that what you want is already real in another version of reality, and that your job is to align with it until it unfolds. Without trust, doubt sneaks in, and the subconscious reverts to its old programming. With trust, the subconscious accepts the new story and reality begins to shift. So, manifestation is not really about techniques. It's about identity, emotion, consistency, and trust. It's about becoming the version of yourself who already lives the life you desire and holding that vibration steadily. The techniques, visualization, affirmations, gratitude, are simply tools to help you step into that state. The real work is holding it long enough for the quantum field to reflect it back. And this brings us to a deeper question. If manifestation is about identity, then who are we really? Are we simply individuals trying to manipulate reality to get what we want, or are we, at a deeper level, expressions of consciousness itself, exploring its power to create? If consciousness shapes reality, then perhaps manifestation is not about bending the universe to our will, but about realizing we are the universe, already abundant, already whole, already infinite. So far, we've uncovered the hidden mechanics of manifestation through the lens of quantum physics. We've explored how the subconscious mind shapes reality, how the quantum field holds infinite versions of your life, and how aligning your inner world shifts the outer world. But now comes the most important question of all: how do we live this truth, not just as an idea, but as a way of being? It's one thing to understand quantum manifestation intellectually, it's another to embody it every single day. Knowledge without practice is like a map without the journey. You can know where the treasure lies, but unless you take the steps, you will never find it. So in this final chapter, let's turn this knowledge into wisdom and this wisdom into daily practice. The first and perhaps most profound shift is realizing that manifestation is not about forcing the universe. It is about becoming a co-creator with it. Too often people approach manifestation as a kind of shopping list for the cosmos. They say, "I want this, I want that," but they stay rooted in the energy of lack. They vibrate with the feeling of not having, and the universe responds accordingly. The truth is, manifestation is not about attracting from a place of need. It is about aligning from a place of wholeness. When you understand that every version of reality already exists, you stop asking, "How do I make this happen?" and instead begin asking, "How do I align with the version where this is already true?" That subtle shift changes everything. It moves you from struggle into flow, from chasing into receiving, from lack into abundance. But to hold that state, you must live differently. You cannot keep feeding your subconscious the same diet of fear, worry, and limitation and expect your life to blossom. You must become conscious of what you allow into your mind. Every word you speak, every thought you repeat, every image you consume is shaping your subconscious programming. Ask yourself daily, is this thought moving me closer to the reality I desire or further away? That single awareness can transform your life. The second principle of living manifestation is emotion. Remember, the subconscious responds not to logic but to feeling, so you must train your nervous system to dwell in the emotions of your desired reality before it arrives. If you want abundance, practice feeling abundant now. If you want love, practice feeling loved now. If you want freedom, practice feeling free now. This is not about pretending or lying to yourself, it's about tuning your frequency to the state you wish to inhabit. The brain and body don't need the external proof first, they only need the internal signal, and once the internal signal is strong enough, the external proof follows. Neuroscience has shown that when you vividly imagine a future experience, your brain and body begin to respond as if it's already happening. Your heart rate changes, your hormones shift, and your neural pathways reorganize. This is why vision boards, meditations, and visualizations are more than motivational gimmicks. They are neurological reprogramming tools. They send the message to the subconscious, "This is who I am now," and reality responds. But emotion without action is incomplete. You can visualize abundance all day, but if you never take steps in the direction of your dream, you're sending a mixed signal. Action is the bridge between the inner and outer world. It tells the universe, I am serious about this. Even small steps create momentum. The key is to take aligned action, not desperate, frantic action, but intentional steps that match the vibration you are cultivating. For example, if you are manifesting health, aligned action might mean nourishing your body, moving daily, and surrounding yourself with environments that support vitality. If you are manifesting abundance, aligned action might mean starting the project, making the call, or learning the skill that expands your opportunities. The action itself, is not what creates the manifestation. The action is what tells the subconscious, I already believe this is who I am. The third principle is trust, and this is where most people falter. They do the visualization, they take some action, but when results don't appear immediately, they fall into doubt. They start checking the outer world for signs of progress, and when they don't see them, they conclude that nothing is happening. But as we said earlier, the outer world is a delayed mirror. Looking for proof too soon is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to see if it has grown. The process requires patience. Trust is not passive, it is an active state of faith. It's the ability to say, even if I can't see it yet, I know it is unfolding. And here is the paradox. The moment you truly stop doubting and start trusting, the shift happens faster. Why? Because the energy of trust is the energy of completion. It tells the subconscious, this is already real, and the subconscious, in turn, organizes reality accordingly. But how do you cultivate trust when the current reality screams otherwise? One answer is through daily gratitude. Gratitude anchors you in what is already working. It trains your mind to see abundance rather than lack. The more you practice gratitude, the more reasons you find to trust the process. Another answer is through surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go of the need to control the how and the when. You set the intention, you align your energy, you take action, and then you let the universe do its part. Now let's go even deeper. What if manifestation is not just about creating a better life for ourselves, but about awakening to who we truly are? At its core, manifestation is not about cars, houses, or success. It's about realizing that consciousness itself is the creative force of the universe, that we are not separate from reality, but integral parts of its unfolding. Think about it, the same consciousness that observes particles into existence in quantum experiments is the consciousness that lives within you. The same energy that birthed stars, galaxies, and worlds is the energy flowing through your mind and body right now. To manifest is simply to remember that truth. You are not a small human begging the universe for favors. You are the universe expressing itself through human form, learning to play with its own infinite potential. And when you see manifestation this way, it stops being about getting and starts being about becoming. Becoming the fullest, truest version of yourself. Becoming the channel through which the universe expresses beauty, love, abundance, and possibility. When you align with that, the things you once chased begin to flow naturally because you are no longer chasing, you are embodying. So here is the final paradox of manifestation. The more you seek it for external gain, the more it slips away. But the moment you seek it as a path of becoming, everything else falls into place. Because the real manifestation is not the car, the house, or the money. The real manifestation is you, expanded, awakened, aligned with the infinite field of possibility. And that is why quantum manifestation is so simple, yet so few practice it. Not because it's complicated, but because it requires a radical shift in how we see ourselves and reality. It asks us to stop living on autopilot, to stop being victims of old programming, and to step into our power as conscious creators. That can feel uncomfortable at first, but once you experience even a glimpse of it, you realize this is what life was meant to be. So if you take one thing from this entire journey, let it be this: reality is not fixed. The future is not written. The quantum field holds infinite versions of you and infinite outcomes of your life. And at every moment, with EV, every thought, every emotion, and every choice, you are tuning into one of those versions. You are, in a very real sense, writing the story of your existence. The question is, which story will you choose to live? The one handed down by old beliefs and subconscious programming, or the one you consciously create aligned with your deepest truth? Because the moment you choose, the universe responds. The moment you step into the frequency of your dream, the dream begins stepping toward you. And when enough of us awaken to this truth, not just individually but collectively, then perhaps we will see that the greatest manifestation of all is a world awakened to its own infinite potential. So let us end where we began, with a simple truth that is easy to understand but profound to live. The power to shape reality is already within you. It always has been. The universe is waiting, the possibilities are infinite, and the only thing left is for you to decide. The choice is yours. Do you want to keep reliving the same patterns, or are you ready to shift your frequency and step into a new reality? The quantum field is waiting for you, and the next step is only yours to take. Stay curious, and I'll see you on the next journey.